This linear walk up over the edge to Keswick begins next to the A591 and heads away from the busy traffic and along the edge of Southernndale to a minor summit called Watches. The edge is then followed south up over Ullock Pike, Longside and finally up to Carlside, with dramatic views south to Derwentwater and the Vale of Keswick. Continuing south from Carlside, the path descends past Whitestones and into Millbeck, where I'm finishing my walk, but it's just a mile or so further along to reach Keswick. Today I'm starting my walk just off the A591, close to the village of Bassenthwaite. There are bus links to the nearby hotel and village which allow for a linear walk over the edge to Keswick. But before we arrive in the North Lakes' busiest town, we have 5 miles of mountain to explore. Heading off the minor road, there is a bridle way that zigzags its way close to Barkbeth Hill, and this is the last piece of tarmac to walk along until I arrive down at Millbeck on the other side of the mountain. The path rounds Barkbeth Hill and heads south into Southernndale, with a view deep into the valley and up numerous ridges leading to the towering peak of Skiddaw. Keeping right at the split in the path leads to a ridge path to Ullock Pike, and an additional, less obvious split takes a minor path leading to the first peak on the walk. Watches is a Burkett fell, standing at a height of 333 metres above sea level, and overlooks a large swathe of Bassenthwaite Lake, and for me, the mist in the valley is adding an all-new dimension to the view. The route from here on to the summits up ahead is an easy one to follow, as the path follows its way up the crest of the ridge. The views get better with every step, with Bassenthwaite Lake down to the right, and Southernndale and its tiny beck meandering its way along the base of the valley to the left. I'm completing this walk in early February, and during the winter months the higher fells usually have a coating of snow, which for me today was quickly reached, and quite deep in places where it had drifted across the path. Now I've had a fair amount of experience of winter walking, and have with me an ice axe and crampons, and the knowledge on how to use them. Even on a fine day, this is no place for inexperienced walkers who are not prepared, especially if navigation begins to become a problem too. As I progressed up the edge, layers of dense mist and cloud crept in from the north, blanketing the lower slopes of the fells and creating ever-dramatic scenes of mountain beauty. Ullock Pike is one of a series of wainwright peaks that are encountered along the ridge, and at 670 metres above sea level, it's the smallest of the 3 fells forming the ridge up to Skiddaw. As I hit the summit, the cloud enveloped me and broke moments later, revealing the view over Bassenthwaite Lake and the surrounding fells of Lord's Seat and Broome Fell. Progressing on, the cloud has shrouded the fells once more, but thankfully the path is obvious, and it's only half a kilometre to the next wainwright, called Longside, at 734 metres above sea level, and the second highest along the ridge. I'm pressing on to the last peak of Carlside due to the lack of views, but it's just before Carlside that there's a split in the path that must be taken. The split is at the Col, with the left path going up to Skiddaw and the right heading up to Carlside, which is marked by a cairn and stands at a height of 746 metres above sea level. Turning right at the summit begins the descent south along a well-defined path. Eventually I passed the cloud base and I was able to enjoy some views over to Derwentwater and Keswick. The first landmark along the route down to Keswick is White Stones, a rocky outcrop of volcanic rock and quartz, giving the feature its name, and today it's even whiter thanks to the light snow covering. Eventually, as you reach the bottom of the fell, the path passes through a gate and descends down to Millbeck. This is where I'm choosing to finish the walk, but a simple and easy mile along footpaths and lanes can lead you further south into the town of Keswick.